Good morning, everyone. Hopefully you can see me and you're following. We're here at St George's Hall at the moment, ready for the start of the march. Starting to build now. Apparently there's a lot of travel problems, hold-ups on the motorways and trains and stuff, stopping some people getting in on time, but I think they'll get here and we'll make a decent showing of it. So I'm going to flip the camera around with a bit of luck and be able to show you what's going on. That's a very appropriate banner. Will all UK citizens be arrested for describing the ethno-supremacist, settler colonial, racist apartheid state of Israel as an ethno-supremacist, settler colonial, racist apartheid state? Or is it just journalists for reference to the campaign that Keir Starmer of arresting journalists for covering what's going on in Gaza, for calling the genocide a genocide? Interesting that the word genocide has been banned from the Labour conference we've seen. So, hello mate, how are you doing? Good. Yeah, Keir Starmer and co banned the use of the word genocide in the conference altogether, and the use of the word apartheid. So, in the Labour Party, you're definitely not allowed to call a spade and a genocide a genocide. There's the amazing Audrey White up here. Hello Audrey, we're live on Skwawkbox. So. How are you doing? Yes. I'm going to stream the whole thing, so hopefully I can just clip it out of that. Yeah. So. Yes. Did you see the latest? The Reeves and Rayner claimed, like, I think one was 8,500, one was about 15,000 of clothing allowance, and put it through on their declaration as office support. So you could have just published it now. Is that right? Right. They've got no shame, have they? They've got no shame. No shame at all.
Well, when you can start pensions and when you can turn the blind eye to genocide, you do anything.
Yeah, not to mention hungry kids are going to stay hungry. I'll catch you at that end then. So Audrey is the Liverpool Mersey pensioners legend who buttonholed Keir Starmer a couple of years ago in the cafe about his record, and she's been on the hunt for him, I think, again in this this time round with him here for the conference, but I don't know if she's managed to catch him yet. Let's hope. Just make sure when I go down the stairs I don't go head over heels. So as you can see, starting to get a decent crowd up. I think we'll get a lot more last minute. I'll turn you around again so you get a better view. As you can see up there on the steps, well, we've got people wearing mourning clothes and carrying parcels to the children killed in Gaza. 14 pages of names of children under a year old. So from birth to not quite I think there was something like was it 1,400 or more than that probably of 3,000 of babies that were killed, murdered in Gaza. We've seen indiscriminate terrorism by Israel in Gaza. It's in Lebanon this week as well. And when asked about that, the spokesperson for the US Secretary of State said, no matter what, we will defend Israel if they're attacked. So, who's defending terror? Live on Skwawkbox in the minute, mate. Do you want to tell people a little bit about why you're here and what the Liverpool independents are doing as far as all this is concerned, and Labour's kind of attack on the buoy, you know?
Yeah.
You ready?
Yeah, well, basically, I'm here because 40,000 people plus have died. We don't know how many under the rubble. Genocide is going on in Gaza, and nobody with an ounce of humanity can accept it. We passed a motion calling for a ceasefire. It wasn't perfect at Liverpool City Council, but it did do the basic humane thing of saying we need to stop the fighting now. But we need more than that. We need to address the issue of the occupation. We need an arms embargo that stops this catastrophic industrial slaughter, and that's why I'm here today.
Excellent. Alan, for anybody who doesn't know, is the leader of the Liverpool Independents on the last year and a half or so in terms of performances in the ballot box. So let's hope that can continue and we can build on it. Thanks, Alan.
Cheers, no problem.
Hi. People in the masks and the veils. You kills kids in this country as well. The kid starver. And each of the people are carrying actual pictures of children killed there as well. Only a very small selection, of course, because so many have died or been maimed. Labour conference where the enabler of genocide, Keir Starmer, is. Doubt we'll see him. That wear the piece at the stem. I keep looking for a t-shirt. All right, wear the piece. It's wear, W-E-A-R, so wear like as in wear the clothes. That's where I got this one. So wear the piece. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. This was Friends of Al-Aqsa. All right. Okay. Yeah. Whenever I write press T-shirt on eBay or on Amazon, they show you a press for a T-shirt. Yes. That thing you press T-shirts. Oh yeah. Well, I'm not advertising them or anything, but the advantage with this company is that they give quite a large share of their profits to causes in Palestine as well. So they're directly helping people in Gaza. I'll be in the demo live for that because I write a lot there about the genocide and so on, and about the Labour Party as well and what they're doing or not doing. Trying to build up, see some more people streaming in all the time. All right, where are you from? Leicester. All right, yeah. Our coach is coming. We just came by car because we have family here. Yes. So we came by car, but there's a whole coach coming. So the rest of my group is coming in a minute. Right, cool. So you official part of the band, or you just come equipped? Oh, I bought this from Facebook Marketplace. All right, okay. £20. So and this I made with DIY stuff at home. Oh, okay. This is blue tack and this is bubble wrap. Oh, good sound. Yeah. What's your name? Kareem. I'm Steve. It's nice to meet you. I haven't got many hands free, but there we go. You're on Skwawkbox Live at the moment, so do you want to tell people why you're here, why it matters? It's horrible. It is horrible. Imagine your kid was holding a pager, and the pager exploded. Well, we know at least 2 children got killed in the terrorist attack there, didn't we? So. By the way, I'm a doctor. All right, okay. I can't watch videos. Trust me. Yes. I can't watch videos. No, I heard one doctor saying he'd never removed as many eyes as he has this week in Lebanon. I've seen parents holding limbs of their kids. Even some of the weapons are amazing nowadays. Like that weapon who left the crater. Yes. The bodies are gone. They're just like it's really strange. It's just the technology is amazing, and Israel is using that as field tested. Yes. Businesses basically. Yeah, they use it as a marketing tool. That expression. Yeah. And Keir Starmer's banned the use of genocide at the conference that we're going to be marching to today. You're not allowed to say the word genocide or apartheid.
You can use mass slaughter.
And we're allowed to use it, but anybody going into the conference will get into trouble if they mention it. And the US State Department said, in spite of Israel's terrorism in Lebanon this week, if anybody attacks them, they'll defend them no matter what. So, terrorist enablers.
Unfortunately, so I'm Egyptian. All my life, every morning, not every morning, most of the day, there is part of the Egyptian news talking about what happened in Palestine. All my life. Not before the first Intifada, the second Intifada, it's all my life, all through. 5 martyrs, 10 martyrs, 15 martyrs, 200, this much bombing happened there. The West Bank, I didn't even know what the West Bank was. I didn't know what Hamas was. I've heard of Fatah, I've never heard of Hamas, always heard of Yasser Arafat. When I was in medical school, I think it was the second Intifada at the time, and it was obviously as horrible as it was. Then it's nothing to be done. Just like you hear about what's happening every single day. I never even know what Israel was, because our geography books when I was in school would have that bit of land. It will have the name Palestine. I never understood what is Israel, but where is Israel? Yeah. Why is Israel causing this part? Where is it? Because it always says Palestine. And then, of course, as I grow older, and I understand that this is just like it's a state that took over this part of the world and is committing horrible things. And I personally do not believe in any religions whatsoever. I don't believe this is a religious issue at all. It's control of resources, control of, this is a launch pad for America to have weapons in the Middle East. A lot of the attacks on Iraq were launched from Israel. It's brilliant. It's like a giant warship. Yeah. It's a giant warship, and one of the American military one of the American military generals said Israel is the most effective warship in the Middle East. Yes. The biggest warship in the Middle East. Aircraft carrier or whatever. Yeah, aircraft carrier. Yeah. Sorry, not warship. You're right. Absolutely. Yes. And it's a military aid. It's not. I think Muslims, if they want to go to Saudi Arabia to pray, they should be given a visa. If Christians want to go to the Vatican from any part of the world, they should be allowed that. If Jews want to go to the Wailing Wall, if they want to go to that should be everybody's right to travel to wherever you want to do pilgrimage or any religious duty they want to do. But what's happening is not religion. This is not religion. This is not Judaism. This is not Islam. Hamas is not fighting because of Islam. Hamas is protecting the land, and the Jews. I don't believe the Jews. I think they're Zionists. A lot of Jews. We have lovely Jews here who are against the Israeli state, against what's happening in Israel. This has nothing to do. I have lots of Jewish friends. This is nothing to do with religion. This is just wrong and evil. That's all.
Okay. That's cool. Thank you for your comments, Karim. I'll hear you during the match, no doubt. Take care. The match was due to set off at 12. Looks like with these things are a little bit behind. As long as my battery holds out and get to the other end where I can attach it to a battery if we stand still and stream the speeches, then I'll stay with you. If I lose you for a minute, stay on the feed, because I'll get it back as quick as I can. So it's on this page. So yeah. Hi, I'm Steve from Skwawkbox. How you doing?
I'm fine.
You good? Yes, I like you about your placard, which says for people watching Jewish solidarity for Palestine and internet. So are you Jewish?
I'm Jewish. I'm here from Halifax Friends of Palestine.
Oh, well done.
We got family with us from Gaza, and they're on the bus as well.
Oh, wow.
So we're all marching together.
So that's putting your money where your mouth is then, really, on it.
So we're all, just stopping what's been going on for 75 years.
Yes. What's your name? Sorry, I'm Steve.
I'm Katie.
Katie.
Yeah, I'm just passionate about human rights and equality and justice for everybody. Stop the war, stop the ammunition, accept Israel.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're in solidarity.
And you don't feel scared being among all these scary pro-Palestine. If you listen to the media and the politicians, you would think that you were in danger from being here. But
Not at all. We've got our own group, the Culture Valley Jewish group. We all meet socially and we're like on WhatsApp together. It's a great community.
Yes.
I'm from Culture and it's a great community. It's a very peaceful place.
and the number of Jewish people among the anti-genocide movement is higher than the percentage in the general population. So that doesn't get said on the mainstream media.
Historians and academics, writers, actors, who are all very pro-Palestinian.
Yes.
Pro-human rights.
Excellent.
Justice for all.
As it should be, you know, if anybody should understand what it's like to go through this, it's Jewish people. You know? Yeah. Bless you. Thank you for giving me a minute. Oh, hello there. I'm Steve. Nice to meet you.
I live around the corner here.
All right. Okay.
Garston.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, well, no, Sam.
You sound like you're from Garston as much as I am.
Yeah, mate, Sam.
Oh, yeah. Good to see you. How are you? Yes. It's live at the minute, so I don't know whether you want to be on the camera or not. How are you getting on? Hello, mate. Yes, I'm good.
This is Martin.
Oh, are you happy to go on camera, Martin?
Yeah,
Hello. How's your health doing, by the way?
a lot better, thanks, mate. Cheers, yeah.
Super. So I've just been talking to
Strange way, it's done me some good because I've lost so much weight.
You're looking really well, I think, actually. Yeah, good to see you. Sorry, I don't know. Claire, hiya. Oh, wow. I've just been talking to a Jewish woman from Halifax who's come here with a busload of her group from there. So, the Martin is, if anybody doesn't know, is another Jewish pro-Palestine anti-genocide activist from Manchester. Wrong kind of Jews are the best kind. So, what do you want to say to Skwawkbox viewers there, Martin, since you're here? I said, what do you want to say to viewers on Skwawkbox as people watching it live, getting ready for the
Keep
build-up?
watching, keep listening to this man. He knows his stuff. He is the star, and Keir Starmer.
You're very kind. And we're dead to but we've got down to give him a piece of our mind. Did you hear that they banned the word genocide and apartheid
We have a
from?
plan to stand outside the conference hall and yell very loudly it passes by. Don't say it's a genocide. Pass it on. That way everybody will know.
Yeah.
Not to say it's a genocide.
So much for free speech, but then he doesn't like free speech.
No, he doesn't think so. Not actually Jeff the Starmer, unless you need to get rid of his hearing, because then he won't hear us saying things.
Yeah, we'd like him moved aside though, and in the Hague, preferably, I think.
Yes, you'll have to listen then, won't we?
Cool. I'll catch you again later on. That's the beautiful thing about this movement. People get demonized by the government, demonized by the media, some sort of hate mob, but we've got Jewish people, Muslim people, people with no religion, Christians. We've got just the general population. We've got grannies, we've got kids, we've got everybody in between. And once it gets started, you'll hear a very lively sound, much better than anything that you get from the genocide marches or very small rallies, usually, of people who are prepared to be friends of apartheid and friends of mass murder. No more UK profits from killing Palestinian children, too true. Starmer's shopping, the bombs keep dropping, yeah.
What's the B-side?
Oh, go on, show me. You're live on Skwawkbox at the moment, by the way, so you know. Genocide, Starmer, shouted gifts, shouted bombs and bullets. Stop the slaughter, free Palestine. Absolutely. Good man. Oh, super. Steve.
Hey, Steve. Yeah. Kendall will work.
Oh, thank you very much.
For keeping the wood.
Yeah, you sound like you come from a bit of a distance, not from Liverpool. Yeah. Right.
the word, it's all been shipped over here today, which is great.
Yes.
But, we're going to the Manchester week, and I did sustain protest every week. As you have in Liverpool. Sundays in Liverpool.
Sundays in Liverpool usually, yeah. Ah, yeah. So I'm going to stream as much as I can the whole thing live as long as the tech holds up. We'll get down the other and they'll stick it on a proper tripod and we'll be all right.
Brilliant for keeping it going anyway.
And, thank you.
And also for allowing them debaters to come on your. I haven't been on the
Socialist Telly thing, yeah.
No, like when they respond.
On the comments, email. Right? Yeah. Well, I just don't have time to moderate, so it's a lot less. Yeah, it can be a little bit, but I think in the moment the left, the independent left media is more. We've been proven right for one thing, because we all warned that he was going to be as bad as the Tories when he got in, and he's exactly as bad, or maybe even worse. Yeah, well, I mean, he's had the biggest fall in popularity for a new prime minister ever, is what I understand. So, since polls began, well, yeah, I mean, that takes some doing, but hello, mate. You're live on Skwawkbox, so don't say anything you don't want to.
Skwawkbox. Oh yeah? Yeah. Free Palestine.
Absolutely.
Free Palestine.
Good meeting you other night.
Yeah.
Thanks for your time, James. I'll catch you later on. The amazing Merseyside Pensioners Association there. Most bullshit and radical people on Merseyside, and that's saying something. It's a bit full, thanks. Don't know if you can see from here, but over on the steps in front of the hall with the hats, we have some of the Orthodox Jewish anti-genocide campaigners and so presented among anti-genocide campaigners, and yet they're painted all the time as being anti-Semitic, as being some kind of hate mob. People are here because of love. They're not here because of hate. They want to stop killing. They want to protect kids. They want to protect civilians. It's getting noisy. I think we'll be starting soon. Flag over there. There's been very strong in solidarity with Palestine, of course. They know what it's like to be under colonial oppression. Yeah, some banners from some of the unions here. Pretty much all of the major unions have an official position voted on by their members and delegates in support of Palestine and in support of boycott and sanctions against Israel. And pretty much without exception, the management of those big unions best activism of their members, and read on Skwawkbox for a bit more of that if you want to look at unions and anti-genocide, and you'll find out. And of course, while I'm in a quieter spot, I'll say, if anybody's interested in supporting Skwawkbox, then just go through to the website, click on any of the articles, and you'll see a variety of options on there to give either a one-off or a monthly donation. And either is very appreciated. Monthly helps us to budget. So that will be, we really appreciate your solidarity. Thank you to all the people who do already support what Skwawkbox does. Wouldn't be able to do it without you. Hello. Pretty much, yeah. But, yeah. You're live on Skwawkbox, so just no, that's fine. Can I just squeeze between there? Sorry. If you've ever wondered what you do during slavery, the Holocaust, civil rights movement, you're doing it right now. That's true. Certainly the band does. Hey, Gad, how you doing?
Yeah, where's all the London mob?
Is what?
The London
And man, apparently there's been big problems on the motorways on the way up, so people are coming on coaches or whatever. And yeah, but coaches, a lot of it, isn't it? Well, it's too expensive. So. Yes, hopefully they'll keep arriving. It's swollen up. Numbers have gone up a lot in the last 10 minutes. So. Hello, brother. How are you doing? Nice to see you. Yes, likewise.
Will you be in attendance? Short at the zona.
Yes, streaming it all live, so hopefully they're going to get moving soon. Otherwise, my battery will hold up till I can plug it into the other end. Turned out decent, but apparently there's a big hold-ups on the M6.
You need a battery?
No, it's just for this. I've got a battery pack, but I can't connect it to the battery pack while on this thing. So I've got a fixed tripod for it when we get down to the other end and start the speeches. This is just for the mobile bit.
I'm going to be at the meeting out for interesting incidents at 2 o'clock.
Oh, is that? All right, okay.
Although some no certainty whether it's happening or not, so I don't know. Absolutely.
Right.
But I've got another event on. I've got to go to. So I'm going to be floating around. I'll see you during the week. I'm going to be as much as I can.
Yeah, I'm down here pretty much all the time. So take care.
Maybe we'll have a drink, a coffee.
Oh, cool. Hi, brother. How are you doing? Hello again, Audrey. I'm streaming live now. Do you want to say something?
Has anybody any news about where Keir Starmer is staying? I mean, this is what we need to know.
Yes.
We need to know what is happening to his practice. We need to know what his plans are. We need to know. So we want to meet him there.
Well, he's in favour of a bit of surveillance, isn't it? So it's only fair if it's the other way around.
What we'd like to do is sit down, there's his advocates, sit down with him and let him justify to our faces how he can vote, how he can discipline his MPs to vote to take off a piddling winter allowance on the most vulnerable people in the country, the elderly, the poor elderly. Doesn't matter whether you're black, whether you're white, whether you're Catholic, Protestant, Muslim or Jewish.
Let them wear Prada. That's what.
I mean, I just think at the end of the day, it's one of the coolest things, other than this taking the put the cap on the second child benefit.
Awful.
Other than that, and genocide, you know, no wonder he's hiding. So if anyone knows where he is, can you let me know? And I'll try and have a little chat with him.
No wonder what passes for his popularity has collapsed as well. So, in case anybody's watching and doesn't know, Audrey famously buttonholed him in a cafe and gave him several pieces of her mind. And that's on Skwawkbox. If you want to go and find it and look up Audrey White, you'll find that and her famous victory over the disgraced and always disgraced Jewish Chronicles. So, well done. Thanks, Audrey. Hands off the West Bank. Yeah, mustn't forget there's huge atrocities being committed there as well. So just a couple of days ago, soldiers throwing Palestinian men off a roof. Media claimed they were dead, but there's no proof of that. Certainly would be by the time that they hit the bottom. And even if they were dead, it's a war crime. Disrespect for the bodies of fallen combatants. That's assuming they weren't even civilians, which is more than likely. I'm going to cross over the road, see if I can get back far enough to give a bit of an idea of the scale of this. Notice is posted around the city centre this week. I saw posted a picture yesterday showing warning the buses will be off because of the march through the city centre. So they clearly expected it to be a good size. A lot of solidarity. It's that way. And then just down straight to the top. Cool. Thank you. That's the direction I'm planning to walk in, so. Jewish Voice for Labour flags up there, Jewish Action for Palestine. And that these are anti-Semitic marches or hate marches. Not about hate. It's about wanting to stop the killing. More people are arriving all the time as well. Don't know how long we've been offline there. Apologies for that. Turned the camera around and realised it had gone. The march is just about to begin, and you're gonna have to put up with my face on the camera a bit as well, because I can't walk backwards all the way down, or I'll end up injuring myself or somebody else. I'll try and hold it far enough away so you get a feel for how big this thing is. But this is a pretty huge demonstration. I'll turn it that way so you can see the people waiting to start. How you doing, Alice? Are you good? You're live on Skwawkbox. Just moving in together, folks. Good luck, well done. It's all right, it's okay. Yeah. Yeah, this does. It's got a camera on the front, so if you're so inclined, you can have it follow you while you're moving or whatever. Drafted some of you guys in from Manchester. Yeah. So the presence on the march is big enough that they've had to bring in extra police from around the northwest by the sounds of it, Greater Manchester there. Hopefully behave themselves well. I saw somebody ask in the chat there as what the YCP presence is like. Well, I haven't picked them out too much from within this, but there's a banner there right at the front, got YCP on it.
Palestine will be free. Palestine will be free.
Louis to the Greens campaign for nuclear disarmament back there. People made the trip from London. Looks like my gimbal's giving up the ghost. I'll have to make my hand. Actually, kind of headed as well, but if we get to the far end, I'm still functioning, I can connect it to a power source. Get back towards the front, so hopefully when the speeches start, I can get you a good view.
No, the signal's not great, Karen. Sadly, it is what it is because we're in the city centre of Liverpool. Supposed 5G here is notoriously awful, so I'll keep doing what I can. Sorry. Arriving now at Liverpool's historic waterfront. Doesn't look as though they may be letting us get too close to the conference centre, unless it's going a very circuitous route. No, they've kept us well away. Right, just in position in front of the stage. I'm going to put the phone down for 2 minutes while I get set up.
أنا ضمي فلسطين. أنا ضمي فلسطين. أنا أهلي أنا فدي. أنا ضمي فلسطين. أنا ضمي فلسطين. وين الأحرار؟ أنا ضمي
Welcome to our national march for Palestine. We'll start in a few minutes, but please could you move to, hold on, I'm really bad at left and rights. Can you move this way into the space over here? So that we can make sure people fill in and everyone has a safe and sort of not squashed demo. Thank you. So keep moving this way. Keep moving right. Yeah.
أنا أحب على ديني على أرض تلاقيني. أنا نهلي أنا فديهم. أنا دمي فلسطيني فلسطيني. أنا دمي فلسطيني على أرض تلاقيني. أنا نهلي أنا فديهم. أنا دمي فلسطيني فلسطيني فلسطيني. أنا دمي فلسطيني. The people they won't leave. What is threatening about divesting of one piece? The problem isn't the protest, it's what they're protesting. It goes against what our country is funding. Block the barricade until Palestine is free. Block the barricade until Palestine is free. When I was 7, I learned a lesson from Cuban Easy E. What was it again? Oh yeah, fuck the police. Actors and badges protecting
down every complicit institution until the Palestinian people live in freedom, peace, and dignity from the Jordan River all the way to the Mediterranean Sea. Rally is the General Secretary of ADLEF, representing over 25,000 train drivers across the country. Please give a very warm welcome to Mick Whelan.
Look at this. Look at what we can do if we stand together. There are millions of people, not just in this country, but around the world, saying that what's happening in Palestine, in Gaza is wrong. What's happening in the West Bank is wrong. And what's happened in the past is a stain on humanity. It's very, very simple. We don't want 30 arms licenses cancelled. We want them all cancelled, and we want them cancelled now. We want ceasefire now. Ceasefire now. We know, the whole world knows, because we're seeing it in real time on television, that war crimes are being committed every single day. Displacing a civilian population is a war crime. Killing tens of thousands of children and civilian people is a war crime. Crushing every university, every home, and every hospital so they can never be used again and can't go back to their land is a war crime. And while you're doing that, on the side, attacking and dispossessing people in the West Bank and committing crimes elsewhere while people aren't looking. This is wrong. The world is saying it's wrong. Workers in the UK say it's wrong. Civil society say it's wrong. And you say it's wrong. So I'm proud to be here today. And I'm proud to be on the other marches. I've been on so many marches in Liverpool in the past, but I think this is one of the most important. This is about what we believe about ourselves. This is what we believe about future generations. This is what we believe about humanity. This is what we believe about international socialism. And if we do the right by the Palestinian people, we can do the right by people everywhere. We'll stop racism, we'll stop apartheid, and we'll stop genocide. Keep fighting, keep arguing, raise that voice for Palestine.
Free, free! Free, free! Free, free! Free, free! Free, free! Free, free! Our next speaker is the MP for Liverpool West Derby. Please give a warm welcome to Ian Byrne.
Wow. What a sight, what a turnout, and welcome all to my great city of Liverpool today. A world city steeped in solidarity and compassion. And it's today our thoughts of solidarity and compassion go out to those who are suffering now. According to the United Nations, Israel's response to the appalling Hamas attack on Israel civilians amounts to collective punishment. Nothing can justify carrying out serious violations of international law. The UN has condemned the complete siege of Gaza, including the cutting off of water and electricity, which may constitute the crime of starvation against civilians. Starvation is one of the most brutal ways to attack the food sovereignty of a community or people. Starvation methods include blockades, water deprivation, food system destruction, and the general destruction of civil infrastructure. In Gaza, this is being carried out to the letter. Malnutrition, famine and disease are killing more people than bombs and bullets. This personal and social trauma is going to be carried by Palestinians for several generations in the future. This man-made famine is a political choice, and 2.3 Palestinian children, women and men are suffering now because of the choice made by the Israeli government. Joseph Borrell, the High Representative of the European Union for Foreign Affairs, has stated that starvation is being used as a weapon of war. All countries have a moral and legal duty to end the deliberate starvation of a nation and its people. Countries and corporations supplying this Israeli government with money and weapons are complicit in these actions. We need a ceasefire now. We need Palestinians to have a right to food. We need the Palestinians people returned to Palestine, and we need a full realisation of the Palestinian human rights and dignity. This is a moral test for the new government, and I call on them today to stand up for the implementation of international law and be bold in confronting those who undermine it, regardless of who they are. Solidarity to you all, comrades.
Please make some noise for Kim Johnson! Good afternoon, comrades. Can I just say what a wonderful sight this is in my Liverpool Riverside constituency? And I just want to say how wonderful it is to see you here today, because as you all know, Liverpool has a unique class. We have fought in terms of resilience, and we will continue to do so. It's almost a year since the Hamas attacked in Palestine, and I would say that I am a Labour MP, and I am for and asked for. Yes, you will be me, but I am one of the few Labour MPs that has asked for the ceasefire and the return to humanitarian aid. I'm a black working class woman from Liverpool, and I've fought racism all of my life, and I've challenged racism all of my life. But just to make it clear, I am not an anti-Semitic rally. It's fantastic to be here today, and it's fantastic to see so many people who've turned out in Liverpool to say to Keir Starmer,
Do not support genocide. Do not support an apartheid state. Stop harming Israel. Stop allowing Israel to do what it does. And this week is the most important week to do so. Because Israel, we have said time after time on demonstrations, is a terror state. And we saw this week state terror on behalf of the Israeli government. You just imagine if any other group of people had booby-trapped pages which led to people losing their eyes, losing their hands, which targeted thousands of innocent people. Imagine if that had been targeted at the American State Department. Imagine if it had been targeted at the Pentagon. There would be war breaking out against those people right now. Instead of which they say nothing. Keir Starmer has not condemned what has gone on in Lebanon, and that is a disgrace because what has gone on in Lebanon is a war crime and nothing short of a war crime. David Lammy tells us to stay calm. We need cool heads and nobody should escalate. How convenient. Nobody else is allowed to strike back at Israel, but they're allowed to bomb and to maim and to kill week after week, month after month. Enough. We are not going to keep putting up with this anymore. And the man who has taken away the winter fuel allowance for pensioners is the man who is going to be spending on the military and on so-called defence, including sending past F-35s to Israel. What a lying hypocrite the man is, and how shameful it is that a Labour government is not standing up against what Israel and what Netanyahu is doing. Now, this is going on all the time. We are seeing reckless warmongering and provocation, aided and abetted by David Lammy and by Keir Starmer and by Joe Biden in the States, by all these people, reckless warmongering and provocation in the Middle East, where there is a threat of a much bigger war, in Ukraine, where there's a threat of a much bigger war, against China, where there will be a threat of a world war if we don't stop it. And therefore, we have a hugely important job to do. Solidarity with Palestine, but not just solidarity with Palestine. Let's end this warmongering and let's keep organising. People say, what's the point of marching? I'll tell you what the point of marching is. It says to the people of Gaza that we are with them. And it says to our government that we are not going to put up with it. A year ago, they told us we couldn't chant from the river to the sea. We do chant it on every single demonstration. They told us we weren't allowed to wave Palestine flags. We wave them as we are today on every single demonstration. They told us we weren't allowed to march, we were hate marchers, but we got rid of Suella Braverman. And Starmer should not for a minute think we won't get rid of him and Lammy as well. Just finally, I'll say this. Keep organising and keep marching. On October the 5th, we have another national demonstration in London. Please join us. It's great being here in Liverpool, but let's get even bigger crowds in London on that day. And on October the 10th, we have a national day of action for trade unions. Make sure in your workplace, if you can stop work for 5 minutes or half an hour, if you can demonstrate outside, if you can pass resolutions, if you can wave the flag, if you can do any of those things, do what you can for Palestine every single day. Not just BDS, but also the demonstrations, the days of action are so important. Solidarity, everybody, we will win. In our thousands, in our millions. 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 Our next speaker is She's also
of Merseyside Pensioners Association, and she was a long-time trade union activist. So please, give a warm welcome. Comrades, I just want to say that every Sunday in Liverpool, we march for Palestine. Every time there's a demonstration in London, our comrades march to London. No, we don't march to London. We march in London against the seat of power, against the government. The government is here. The government is here, just in the building across the way there. And if anybody knows where Keir Starmer is staying, please let me know. Merseyside pensioners want to sit down with him and tell him what we think of him. Without the bus of the island, take off the winter fuel allowance for its pensioners, the poorest of pensioners. You take the winter fuel allowance so that thousands of pensioners die, whether they're black, white, Catholic, Muslim, Protestant or Jewish. They don't care. They don't care what religion you are, what gender you are. It's all about class. They are making ordinary working class people suffer for their political ideology. And it's only the poor that will suffer. The other point I wanted to make today, it may not be popular, but it's about time we started talking about the weapons. And I don't mean the F-35s or whatever number it is that's bombing people in tents. I don't even mean these booby-trapped technological things like so the pages and mobile phones. I don't even mean them. Let's all have a look at what really enabled Israel to do what it's doing. The weapon that they used was so dirty and so filthy that we haven't really talked about it to any extent. That weapon was weaponizing fake anti-Semitism, and it was used to divide our movement. It was used to destroy Jeremy Corbyn. It was used so that we were afraid to defend our comrades, to stand by quite often our Jewish comrades who were targeted by the Labour Party. And let's face it, where did those lies come from? They come from within the Labour Party, and they also came through the pages of the Jewish Chronicle. And you can see what happened. The Jewish Chronicle has a direct line to Netanyahu, to the IDF, and to the generals for Israel that are carrying out a genocide. Let's all talk about this fake anti-Semitism. It was wrong, it was disgraceful, and it destroyed our movement. We've got unity now. Let's use that unity. Let's challenge anyone who says anything that tries to discredit us. We're the people for peace. We're the people who are anti-racist. We're the people who are fighting for a better world. Unite together. Everybody, do not
He's the deputy of the French National Assembly, Jerome.
Bonjour à toutes et tous. Je m'appelle Jérôme Legare, je suis député français de la France Insoumise et militant du Parti ouvrier indépendant. C'est un immense honneur pour moi de pouvoir prendre la parole devant vous, de saluer la puissance des mobilisations populaires qui, malgré toutes les pressions, ont lieu depuis 1 an en Grande-Bretagne, contre le massacre, contre le génocide du peuple palestinien, contre les gouvernements de Biden, de Starmer, de Macron, qui soutiennent cette horreur et qui en sont complices.
Hello, my name is Jérôme Legare. I'm a French MP for La France Insoumise and an activist with the Parti ouvrier indépendant of France. It's a great honor for me to be able to speak before you, to salute the power of the popular mobilizations that, despite all the pressures, have been taking place for a year in Great Britain. Mobilizations against the massacre of the genocide of the Palestinian people, mobilization against the governments of Biden, of Starmer, of Macron, that support this horror, that are complicit in it.
La puissance de vos manifestations est un signe d'encouragement très fort en France, où le gouvernement de Macron réprime et cherche à intimider ceux qui se battent pour stopper le massacre du peuple palestinien. Nous l'avons vu, cette puissance s'est exprimée dans le congrès des TUC et je salue la motion adoptée par le congrès pour le cessez-le-feu immédiat, pour mettre fin à toutes les licences d'armes à Israël. C'est un point d'appui et c'est un exemple pour tout le mouvement ouvrier à l'échelle internationale.
The power of your demonstration is a very strong sign of encouragement in France, where Macron's government represses and seeks to intimidate those fighting to stop the massacre of Palestinians. As we have seen, this power was expressed at the TUC Annual Congress, and I welcome the motion adopted by the Congress for an immediate ceasefire to put an end to all arms licenses to Israel. This is a point of support and an example for the entire labor movement all over the world.
Nous le savons tous, sans les armes livrées par Biden, Starmer et Macron, le massacre à Gaza et en Cisjordanie serait impossible. Sans ces armes livrées par ces gouvernements soutiens de Netanyahou, il n'y aurait pas l'offensive actuelle contre le Liban. Plus que jamais, nous devons continuer, nous ne nous tairons pas et nous allons amplifier notre mobilisation. Cessez le feu, stop au génocide, arrêt immédiat des livraisons d'armes.
We all know it. Without the weapons supplied by Biden, Starmer, and Macron, the massacre in Gaza and the West Bank will be impossible. Without the weapons delivered by these Netanyahu-supporting governments, there would be no offensive against Lebanon. More than it, we must continue and step up our mobilization. Cease fire. Stop the genocide. Stop armed deliveries.
Au moment où les gouvernements de nos pays, celui de Biden, celui de Starmer, celui de Macron en France, alimentent la guerre, coupent dans tous les budgets sociaux, où ils alimentent la guerre comme on le voit aussi en Ukraine, plus que jamais, organisons-nous. Ce n'est pas quand des milliers meurent chaque jour à la guerre qu'on peut combattre la guerre. C'est avant et c'est maintenant, quand nous pouvons encore nous organiser et manifester. Nous y sommes. Solidarité, résistance.
At a time when the governments of Biden, of Starmer, and of Macron in France are fueling war, are cutting its social services, as we are also seeing in Ukraine. Let's get organized. It's not when thousands fall every day, then we can fight war. It's before, it's now. when we can still organize and demonstrate. Here we are, solidarity, resistance.
Free, free! Free, free! Free, free! In our thousands, in our millions! In our thousands, in our millions! From the sea to wherever! Our next speaker is an actor who has always stood strong in support of social and international justice and has always been one of the strongest voices within the autistic community in solidarity with the people of Palestine. Please give a very warm welcome to Maxine P.
Hello, everybody. I'm not going to do a speech. I'm going to read because I think these words say so much. This is a diary entry written by Sunda Sada, who is a writer based in Gaza. Of course, they don't intend to kill me, even when they dropped a 2,000-pound bombs on us. Even when they rain down bombardments across entire neighbourhoods and make life impossible in the city. Today, terrorism was hiding in... No, don't understand. Don't misunderstand. They are merely eradicating terrorism. Today, terrorism was hiding in the body of Omar, my 6-year-old nephew, perhaps in his heart, or maybe in his soft locks of hair. So they killed him. They dropped 2 missiles on him and his siblings, Aya and Hamed, and his niece Sila, who was only 6 months old, killing them all. At 5 o'clock this morning, my sister Randa woke to strange noises around her house. She roused her husband to investigate, and as soon as they opened the window, 2 explosions shook them, and a thick layer of smoke filled the air. Fearing a sniper, Randa fell to the floor and crawled on her hands and knees to wake her children. As soon as they went downstairs, shells began hitting the courtyard. They began to sprint into the garden one by one, holding a white flag above their heads as they ran. The air was filled with the smell of gunpowder. A dense fog enveloped the neighbourhood, and the sounds of cannons echoed on all sides. The family ran as fast as they could towards the entrance of a side street. A quadcopter drone flying low above the rooftops noticed them and rained bullets down on them. Then, realising they were still alive, they got to their feet and ran with all their might, driven by the profoundest of instincts, survival. Some ran into a house at the end of the street. Others continued running along the wall. Nowhere was safe, so they kept moving. After half an hour running like this, they reached a school affiliated with UNRWA and took refuge. But the missiles followed them. My 6-year-old nephew Omar was struck in the head by a piece of shrapnel and died instantly. My brother Hamad, sister Aya, and niece Sila were left wounded, bleeding. This was Omar's first year in elementary school, but he never got to memorize the route each morning to school or to mischievously ring doorbells and run away before anyone came. He chose another path, a more peaceful one, to soar with the flocks of young pigeons to the skies above Gaza City. Samir dragged Omar's siblings with the help of a local resident to a nearby house and tried every possible way to stop their bleeding, to no avail. Aya was wounded in the side, hammered in the chest and legs. Samir ran out again, trying to find an ambulance, even though he himself had been injured by shrapnel in his throat and had lost a tooth in his lower jaw. Hamad followed Omar after an hour of bleeding, and Aya joined them minutes later. Sila remained bleeding. After 12 hours of bleeding, Sila decided to let go of this world and turned its back on her. Until we meet again, my summer fruit. Thank you. Free, free! Free, free! Free, free! From the river to the sea! From the river to the sea! From the river to the sea! Our next speaker is here representing the Muslim Association of Britain, one of the co-organisers of today's march.
Thank you everyone for attending this march, the 19th National March that is organised by the coalition to prove that the average British person is against genocide. I'm here to speak to you today on behalf of the Muslim Association of Britain, yes, but I also speak to you as a Palestinian. I speak to you representing the trauma and the pain and the suffering of every Nakba survivor, every survivor who has seen the ugly face of the occupation, the mother of the martyr in Gaza who grieves the life of her baby, stolen from her way too early, the schoolboy who's sound asleep, stolen, abducted from his bed and locked up in a torture camp from Jenin. I speak to you on behalf of the bride who became a widow on her wedding night in Tulkarem, the orphan child who survived his entire family, who has promised, who has vowed to resist until he dies. The lifeless body of a youth who was thrown from the rooftops by an occupier devoid of all humanity in the village of Kabatia, and the girl whose body was crushed by a bulldozer until her eyes were blackened with blood. I represent every single one of them, and you represent every single one of them, and you raise your voices so that Labour can hear. We want a ceasefire now! When I come to these marches, I remember them, and I remember what our Labour Party is funding, what our Labour government is funding, when they continue to send weapons to the killing machine that is Israel. While Labour celebrates victory just across the way, we know that means nothing without principle. We have ignited a movement. Together, you have ignited this movement that will not be silenced. A movement born out of complete moral clarity. It is driven by the courage that we demand justice, complete justice. And we will not stop. We will not rest until that justice is achieved. So let them hear us loud and clear. Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! We will not let them continue with business as usual. We will remind them of the complicity in the most live-streamed genocide of our time. That in the face of these horrifying scenes that we cannot ignore, scenes of massacres, of rape, of starvation, of torture, they chose empty gestures. and inaction. My question to Keir Starmer is this: do Palestinian children not deserve to live? Do their lives not matter? How many more children need to die before we call out what this is, a genocide? Our demand is clear. Cut every single arms sale, every deal, and every tie with a genocidal state. We will not allow our taxes to continue to fund more massacres. Every day of inaction, our voices will grow louder. Our demands will be harder to ignore. You will not silence us, Keir Starmer. You will not silence us, and you will not intimidate us. We will go stronger until we see that Palestine is free from the river to the sea. From the river to the sea. From the river to the sea. And from the sea to the river. Our next speaker stood at the last election as a pro-Palestine independent candidate in Preston. He's a veteran activist figure in the
Brothers and sisters, comrades and friends, assalamu alaikum. This is the 19th National March, and to be honest with you, I'm usually on that side of the barrier, usually somewhere at the back, because Preston is some way from London and we usually arrive late as the march is taken off. But it's not just national demonstrations. Every weekend, people up and down this country are out on the streets demanding an end to the genocide. And I need to tell you that I get increasingly angry. I'm angry at having to give up my weekends because this shouldn't be happening, because there isn't a politician, there isn't a media outlet anywhere in the world who does not know that there is a genocide taking place, and they should be acting. We need to be clear. Israel is increasingly isolated, and as it's isolated, it becomes more vicious. It attacks Yemen, Syria, and of course this week it attacked Lebanon. But it can only do that because it has the support of the Western imperial states. It knows it acts with impunity because America and Britain and Germany have their back. So we have to stay on the streets, we have to keep marching to ensure that we put the political pressure on our government and they accept their responsibility for what is happening here. You know, the Tory party at the start of this year, they even tried to blame us. They tried to criminalise us. They tried to say that our marches were hate marches. Think about that again. Suella Braverman in November went head to head with us. We get rid of her. The Tory party tried to take us on, and we were the last straw that broke their back. We have now got a Labour government, but unfortunately this Labour government is just a continuation of what we've seen before. It is shameful. It is shameful that one of David Lammy's first acts was to go to Israel and shake the hands of the genocidal government. It was shameful. It was shameful that Starmer hasn't spoken out. In fact, Starmer is more concerned about where his next free suit and free glasses are compared to the death of thousands of Palestinian children. Well, I want to say to Keir Starmer, your free suits will be forever stained with the blood of Palestinian children. And let's hope quite soon he has to wear that posh suit in a court where he faces charges for genocide and enablement. So the Labour Party might think we're going away, but I want to make it perfectly clear. We are going nowhere. We will stay on the streets. We will stay on the streets until the Golan goes back to Syria, until the Bastima fires go back to Lebanon, until they stop attacking Lebanon, and until Palestine is free from the river to the sea. From the river
Movement in Britain. You shut down the British war machine which arms Israeli genocide. Represents an organisation that continues to be instrumental in this fight. Please give a very warm welcome to Kate Hudson, General Secretary of the Campaign for Nuclear Disarmament. Thank you so much. Friends, in its short time in office, this Labour government has completely failed the Palestinian people. It has continued to condone and enable the genocide on Gaza and the attacks on Palestinians in the occupied West Bank. And it has refused to stop arms sales to Israel. And what's more, it continues to support Israel politically and diplomatically. And now, worse upon worse, Israel has launched its second war, now on Lebanon. We have seen its terrorist attacks using technology in homes and communities, killing and wounding thousands, including children. Yesterday, we saw its airstrikes on Lebanon, destroying civilian infrastructure. These are yet more war crimes. And how long, friends, how long before it uses nuclear weapons against Iran? These are the ultimate weapons of terror and mass destruction, enabling Israel to act with impunity. So when is our government, when is this Labour government going to act to put a stop to these crimes? How much further will this war escalate before this craven and criminal Labour government abides by international law, joins the international majority against the genocide, and takes real steps to end it? Friends, it's time for our movement to really strengthen our work, to intensify the pressure on government, and to step up the pressure on our trade unions. The arms production has to be halted, in particular, including the components for the F-35 jets that are made here in Britain. And we have to stop those deadly shipments that are killing every day our brothers and sisters in Gaza. Make no mistake, we will continue to march, to organise until this genocide ends and Palestine is free. Free! Free! Thanks. Okay, Liverpool.
Speaker is a Palestinian doctor in Liverpool, and he's a regular speaker at the weekly demonstrations. So please give a very warm welcome to Dr. Hamza Hamdayeh.
Thank you. Hello, Liverpool, and thank you. What amazing turnout.
So Israel is defeated. Israeli occupation of Arab militia are losing in personnel and tanks. But these losses are not Israel's most brutal one. Israel is losing its 76-year-old mask of deception to the whole world. This mask crafted with all kinds of lies to justify an ongoing oppression and apartheid and a trial after trial to subjugate Palestinians, while portraying itself as the only democracy in the Middle East. Give it more. And its bloodthirsty, monstrous occupational forces as the most moral army in the world. We're talking about the same army that just 2 days ago was throwing wounded men in Qabatia, West Bank, from the rooftops. The army that kidnapped Palestinian school teacher in occupied West Bank as Israeli settler colonialists raided the school, terrorizing the children in their classrooms. These teachers were added to the 10,000 Palestinians kidnapped into Israel's torture and grave camps they call prisons. The army that killed Al Jazeera Palestinian journalist Shireen Abu Akleh a year before October the 7th. The army that murdered 116 journalists since that genocide began. These are the same monsters that cold-bloodedly killed Muhammad al-Qurra, the 12-year-old boy in the arms of his father in Gaza 23 years before October the 7th. And since the genocide began, they've killed many of his family members, along with over 17,000 children as himself. It is only after realizing all of this you might begin to comprehend the story of Wasim. Wasim is a 13-year-old boy who witnessed his own funeral. In a 17-minute-long interview that I had to reply 3 times just to understand the timeline of his agony, Wasim testifies the following. I was in a school playing with my bike when the school surrounding was shelled by Israeli airstrike. I ran toward my father and found him lying still in the classroom. I was in shock, but immediately a second chilling hit me. I felt my leg hanging. I was rescued with a donkey cart, but the donkey cart was bombed. People held us to a care clinic where they amputated my leg without anesthesia because they had none. I was later transferred to Al-Mahmadani Hospital for my first operation afterwards. They thought I was dead since I wasn't responding. They wrapped me in a shroud and began praying the funeral prayers. I was semi-conscious and heard their prayers, but thought they were praying for someone nearby, not me. A bombing nearby startled me and I moved. People freaked out when they saw me moving, rushing me back into the hospital where I had my second operation.
Later, Israeli soldiers raided
Al Mahmadani hospital. I was terrified. A soldier looked at me and told another, rest him, repeating it twice. He shot me into chest. I did not die. They left him, hoping that Wasim will bleed to death. But that was not his destiny. He was destined to live and tell his story to you, to the world, for you to act. This is a story for you to fight for the truth and for the mask that Israel wears to find any foe. So keep marching, keep posting, keep sharing, and most importantly, keep pressuring
these monsters politicians to stop this live stream war crime.
And thank you, Liverpool.
Rally, please make some noise for
On behalf of the Palestinian Forum in Britain, I thank you for your solidarity. Before Keir Starmer took office, he promised us he would be better than the Tories. Has he been better than the Tories? Has he been better than the Tories? What did we get instead? We got a 2-child benefit cap and we got a winter fuel allowance cut. Do not tell me you're better than the Tories when you punish the most vulnerable in our society to balance your books. Do not tell me you're better than the Tories when you continue to arm a genocide against the Palestinian people. Keir Starmer's hands are soaked in Palestinian blood. Keir Starmer thinks that he'll get away with it because he blocked 8% of arms going to Israel. Is he trying to fool us into thinking that the Israelis only use 8% of arms for war crimes and leave the rest for a rainy day? This is a live stream genocide, for God's sake! All arms need to be stopped now! Keir Starmer has blood on his hands. He won't get away with it because we will make sure he won't get away with it. Keir Starmer, you can hide. Keir Starmer, you can hide. I need to hear it louder. I want them to hear it in their conference. Keir Starmer, you can hide. Keir Starmer, you can hide. Thank you.
Free, free! Free, free! Now, it is my huge honour to bring you our numbers estimate for today's rally. And I am pleased to say that there are more than 15,000 of us here today in Liverpool. More than 15,000 of us who are calling on the Labour Party to impose an immediate two-way arms embargo with Israel. Our next speaker is here today representing thousands of Jewish people in Britain who have joined the Jewish bloc
on all of our national demonstrations. Please give a very warm welcome to David Vickers.
Thank you. It's been nearly a whole year now since Israel began its brutal genocide of the people of Gaza. Already one of the most deprived areas in the world, conditions there today resemble hell on earth. Children growing up in tents, next to piles of refuse, next to open sewage, and the bombed out skeletons of hospitals, mosques and schools. 9 out of 10 people in Gaza have been internally displaced, some of them repeatedly. And meanwhile, Israel continues to commit war crimes in the Middle East. Last month, the IDF conducted the biggest raids in the West Bank since the Second Intifada. We've seen acts of wanton terrorism in Lebanon, in Iran, and in Syria. We've also seen torture and rape committed by soldiers against Palestinian prisoners. These horrors make the world less safe for all of us, Jews included. As anti-Zionist Jews, we must clearly raise our voice to say these crimes are not in our name, and Israel is not our nation. Now, Starmer has shown himself to be a loyal ally of Netanyahu's murderous government. He consolidated his power by silencing and purging the anti-Zionist and socialist left from Labour. His first response to the genocide was to say Israel has the right to defend itself by murdering civilians. And even now, he refuses to allow the words genocide or apartheid to be spoken at the Labour conference. The fact that his rhetoric has softened shows the power of our movement for Palestinian liberation. The suspension, however, of a fraction of UK arms sales to Israel is a token gesture, and now is not the time for half measures. We need an immediate ban on all arms sales, the severing of diplomatic ties with the Zionist state. Without this, Israel will continue murdering Palestinian civilians with impunity. Labour cannot sit on the fence. They are either with the oppressed or with the oppressor. Keir Starmer must ban all arms sales immediately. Demand an immediate and unconditional ceasefire for the people of Gaza and the withdrawal of all Israeli troops from the occupied territories. Working people need to ramp up the pressure. The TUC is called for a day of action on the 10th of October, and we need to make sure that we turn out in force for the people of Palestine and cause the maximum disruption. Working class struggle is the only way to make the government listen. We need a campaign of strikes, blockades, and walkouts at workplaces. We must keep fighting until the apartheid regime has been dismantled, and so that all people can live in the land of historic Palestine in peace and safety, whether Jewish or Palestinian. Thank you very much.
I am one of the students of the University of Liverpool encampment. Alongside my fellow students, we occupied Alaria Square for over 9 weeks, demanding that our university divested from companies complicit in the destruction of Gaza and the genocide of the Palestinian people. During these 9 weeks, we educated one another, made bonds of friendship and solidarity with one another, and most importantly, fought for justice with one another. These same bonds were formed across the university encampments up and down the country, And here in the UK and all across the world, students rose up united against the complicity of universities in the genocide of the Palestinian people. While there were difficult times, we knew that our struggles were nothing compared to what the Palestinian people are forced to go through on a daily basis. While we laid in tents and listened to the sound of rain, people in Rafah and Gaza listened to a constant stream of bombs and rockets with nothing to protect them but a piece of fabric. While we suffered intimidation from university authorities and the police, the people of Palestine faced decades of terror and oppression, living in constant fear that they will return from buying bread and milk to find their families stolen from them and their house turned to rubble. Our eyes bear witness to the immorality, to the bombardment, to the illegal internment of prisoners, to the occupation and exploitation of Palestinian lands and resources, to the erasure of Palestinian existence. We bear witness to the destruction of every single higher educational institution in Gaza, a destruction which has taken place with the help of research done at UK universities. UK universities who would rather discipline, bully, and call the police on their own students than divest away from the Zionist project. We bear witness and we vow to take action. We vow to take a stand and fight for the liberation of Palestine. Students across the world have risen on their campuses over the last year to join the fight against Western complicity in the occupation and ethnic cleansing of Palestine. We have participated in an unprecedented manifestation of political will and international solidarity. We have held rallies, sit-ins, occupations and disruptions. We have sent letters, petitions and published research. Many of the students who are here today helped form the student encampments, protesting for months in an effort to hold our universities accountable for their financial and developmental role in the production of the surveillance systems, fighter jets and ammunition used to slaughter Palestinians on a daily basis. Whilst the encampments have closed, our will to fight is stronger than ever. Until every university on British soil has divested from arms manufacturing, we will not stop. The universities and the government may believe the peak of student activism for Palestine has passed, but we're here to tell them this is only the beginning. Today marks the beginning of a new era of student activism, the beginning of the newly formed Student Federation for a Liberated Palestine. We represent a coalition of 20 university encampments and our numbers are growing every day. Our universities have failed us. Our politicians have failed us. Our cowardly new Labour government refuses to even use the word genocide. In fact, they've gone as far to block the use of the word genocide at conference. I have marched here today with hundreds of my fellow students from up and down the country. I'm so proud to be one of them. I'm so proud of our power, of our unity, of our fight for justice. So my final message is one to Keir Starmer and our new Labour government. You see these hundreds of students here today. You see these thousands of young people. Let this be a reminder to you that you can no longer take the youth vote for granted. No longer can you treat young people as if they're apathetic, uneducated and uninformed. No longer can you act as if our voices don't matter. Keir Starmer, can you hear us? Can you see us? We are political, we are powerful, we are united. The organisers with Censorship for Palestine. Please give a warm welcome to Helena Wood. They said that the old will die and the young will forget, but here we still rise. I am the granddaughter of the survivors of the 1948 Nakba. I am the daughter
of a survivor of 1967. I did not get a sponsored birthright trip. Instead, I got a life of exile living in the diaspora. I don't get welcomed with open arms at my own borders. Instead, I get interrogated for hours, having to prove to the Israeli occupational forces that I am even worthy of walking on the ground and smelling the same air that my ancestors once smelt and walked on. But what I did get was resilience. What I did get was pride. What I did get was culture and underlying strength. And still, we Palestinians stand against occupation. Still, we Palestinians resist. There is no pride I feel more than the pride of being a Palestinian, let alone a Scouse Palestinian. The bravery of our people is unmatched. Our culture, our flag, our heritage. Never ever let that die. I would never have thought or imagined I'd see hundreds and hundreds of Palestinian flags and kaffirs around the Albert Dock. It is very surreal. And keep it going. Don't let any of that scaremongering propaganda stop you from fighting for justice. Stop you from being on the right side of history. Because if you are silent, you are complicit. You might as well go join their conference. Palestine has been forced to hold up a mirror to the most callous and despicable parts of the human soul. And if you are still unmoved, and I'm aiming this at Keir Starmer and his party, if you are still unmoved, then may your own reflection haunt you. He is a Tory in red. He never made it. He never made the cut to be a Tory. He is a Tory in red. And we all know who should have been in his place. Human rights matters. No wonder he's a genocide enabler when he's defending them. Once a war criminal, always a war criminal. Of these innocent murdered souls haunt every single person complicit. Neither their screams as they burn and suffer, nor ours as we watch with the horrors are heard. And this is what happens when you allow a system built on money, greed, and power to run things for too long. Innocent children are being murdered while Keir Starmer and his MPs watch in power. And I just want to end with let these destroyers of our ecosystems, polluters of our atmosphere, war criminals and merchants of death know they are not welcome in our city of justice. We've banished the sun. And we will banish Keir Starmer. Liverpool stands with Palestine. Scousers stands with Palestine. Palestine is the soul of all of our souls. And Palestine will never, ever walk alone. Scousers for Palestine. Scousers for Palestine. Justice for Palestine! Justice for Palestine! Justice for Palestine! I just want to who's an orthopedic surgeon from Liverpool, who is currently on the ground working in Gaza. Now, if that's not bravery, I don't know what is. Give them a round of applause. Thank you. Thank you.
sisters, friends, thank you all for coming out here today. We are approaching almost 1 year of the current genocide, and over 40,000 deaths later, the massacres still continue to rise, be it in Rafah, in Nusayrat, or in Al-Mawasi. There are no safe zones in Gaza, and there never were any safe zones in Gaza, because Israel has shown us time and time again that they have no plans in stopping their genocide on Gaza. For 76 years, Israel have been allowed to wage their continuous war crimes without a shred of accountability. And standing right behind them every step of the way, as they have done for over a century, is our government. Our government, who have continued their murderous policies as their predecessors before them, has the blood of thousands of Palestinians on their hands. The indiscriminate bombing of a civilian population isn't enough for this current government to take action. The killing of 17,000 children isn't enough for this government to take action. The killing of British aid workers wasn't enough for this government to take action. And now Israel's horrific attack on Lebanon is still not enough for our murderous government to take action. Now is not the time for meaningless gestures and insubstantial condemnations. We need to see immediate action from the people that have been elected in. We need to see an immediate end to all arms sales to Israel. And we need sanctions to be placed on Israel immediately. And so, whilst this government continues to sit back and refuse to listen to the people they claim to represent, we will continue, just as we have been doing for months, as millions of us have been doing all across the globe, to march, to lobby, to boycott. We are all united for one cause, an end to the bombardment, a call for a permanent ceasefire. And when a ceasefire is called, we will continue to make noise and to demand justice until there is an end to the illegal occupation. Because it's ceasefire now and free Palestine always. So I have one request for you all. I need every single one of you out in London on Saturday, the 5th of October, at the next national demonstration, as we mark 1 year since Israel began its brutal genocide in Gaza. We will march in our hundreds and our thousands, and hopefully even millions, to send a clear message to our government that we will not stand by as they continue the UK's complicity in Israel's genocide. Let us send a message to those shameful politicians that we will always stand in solidarity with the people of Palestine in their fight for liberation against apartheid and imperialism. And we will continue to fly our flags high and proud. We will not be stopped in our solidarity until there is an end to the bombardment on Gaza, an end to the illegal occupation, an end to the ethnic cleansing, and an end to the apartheid. So let us send one clear message to them now. When I say stop bombing Gaza, you say stop arming Israel. Stop bombing Gaza. 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 Stop bombing Gaza! Stop bombing Gaza! Stop bombing Gaza! Thank you.
Our final speaker for today's demonstration is director of the Palestine Solidarity Campaign, who are one of the organisers of today's march. Please give a very warm welcome to Ben Jamal.
Thank you. Friends, I want to thank you all for coming here today, over 15,000 strong. Now, in just a few weeks' time, we will mark 1 year of Israel's genocidal assault upon the people of Gaza, 1 year of ongoing Palestinian resistance to that genocide. A genocide for which Israel is now on trial at the world's highest court. A genocide that has killed over 41,000 Palestinians, with thousands more missing, presumed dead, buried under the rubble of their own homes. A genocide that has displaced over 2 million Palestinians, destroyed societal infrastructure, schools, universities and hospitals, and left everyone in Gaza facing a high risk of famine and a genocide unique in human history for being live streamed, broadcasting across all of our screens. Images we will not forget, cannot forget, should never forget. Like 7-year-old Cedra, blown from her home with such force that she was left hanging from a wall in Rafah like a piece of meat. Countless harrowing images of parents with body bags searching for some small piece of their child to bury. So friends, we march again for the 19th time today, calling for an end to this genocide, but asserting two fundamental truths: that history did not begin on October the 7th, that this genocide is built on the foundations of 76 years of colonization, occupation, ethnic cleansing and imposition upon all of the Palestinian people of a system of apartheid. And secondly, that system of oppression can only be sustained, is only sustained with the complicit support of Western governments, companies and corporations. So today we come to Liverpool to bring this march to the doors of the Labour Party conference, demanding an end to all British complicity. Now friends, you recall 11 months ago when Israel announced that it was going to cut off food, water, medicine and essential supplies to the Palestinian people, began the process that would lead them to the brink of starvation. Keir Starmer, now our Prime Minister, told the world that they had the right to do that. Under the pressure of this movement, of your movement, of our movement, he has been forced to start to change tack. His government has restored funding to UNRWA and has ended the sale of some weapons to Israel. But this is nowhere near enough. It means that having admitted
that Israel is violating international law, this government is shamefully prepared to continue selling it weapons, including the components of aircraft that have been demonstrated, proven to have been used in a massacre in July in Al-Mawasi that killed over 90 Palestinians and injured hundreds more. This Labour government wants to continue treating Israel as a democratic ally, but we, the people, know what Israel is. It is a state built on the foundation of a racist ideology that says between the river and the sea, one people, Israeli Jews, have rights and another, Palestinians, have no rights at all. You do not have normal relations with such states. A Labour government should be sanctioning Israel, not promising it an enhanced trade deal. A Labour government should be cutting all arms sales, not shipping weapons to be used in a genocide. A Labour government should be shaming and sanctioning the British companies and corporations that support this illegality, not inviting them to hold stalls at their conference, as Labour is doing this week with Barclays Bank. And a Labour Prime Minister and a Labour Foreign Secretary should not be standing silent when Israel unleashes an act of terrorism on a mass scale, as it has in Lebanon in the past few days. Not a word of condemnation for those attacks from David Lammy or Keir Starmer, although, to be fair to Keir Starmer, he may have been too busy trying on his new suits and stealing money from pensioners. So friends, today we brought this march to Liverpool on October the 5th. As we mark 1 year of genocide, we will be back in London in our hundreds of thousands. We do not stop marching. We never stop protesting. We never stop boycotting until the genocide is ended, until the occupation is lifted, until all the walls of apartheid are dismantled, until the Palestinian people in Ramah, in Haifa, in Jerusalem, in Gaza, from the river to the sea, are finally free. From the river to the sea. From the river to the sea. Thank you.
Us today.
Thank you
In
for watching.
solidarity with the peoples of Palestine and of Lebanon as they face this most horrific assault. Now, Liverpool